Benefit of starting with futures prop trading is the low barrier to entry if you don't have the money or you don't want to risk your own money.
No, I would say futures is not the best place to start. Sorry to all future prop traders.
I've been qualified for payouts on copy traded accounts and then kept trading them and blown them. You're just not psychologically mature enough as a trader, if you're brand new, to be copy trading accounts.
Don't start with paper trading. I'm very passionate about that. Don't start on an account that you have no skin in the game, no emotional impact on you. Don't do that.
If the trader can commit to the budget and the discipline and learn how to trade successfully and scale within prop firm, and that's how they start, then when they go to a live account with their real money, like, they're just gonna be like, it's worth getting a course and paying for a course, and even better if you can afford it, real mentorship, is because you will always put more effort into something if you have skin in the game.
I'd rather people pay more for coaching than they do on prop firms.
What's up, traders? Welcome back to the podcast. We've got a very special episode today. So we have Jen Keter, who is top 5 episodes all time on the show. We've got Loree from Rebecca. Are you in Canada right now?
Yes.
Yes. Nice. Rebecca is, what would we say, top 20? And then Christine is coming in. You're the most recent, Christine, so it's not fair to really judge how
Sure.
far up the list you are, but you're 39th all time. So still top quarter, which is really good.
Let's go with that.
So
yeah.
Everybody, we're pulling the girls together today to, I think, have a really focused conversation, hopefully hear some different takes on some common trading problems for new traders and struggling part-time traders. That's who we really want to focus this conversation on. So, girls, it's good to see you. Thank you for doing this. I'm looking forward to Christine. I'll see you in a few weeks. Jen, I'll see you, what is it, next week? So I'm looking forward to it. But let me kick us off with a good, stay-at-home mom-focused topic. I think a lot of people see you guys on social media trading in a way, like, while still managing the house, still managing the family, still taking the kids to sports, still Christine traveling. Jen, you're always out with the kids on the golf cart. So they see you're balancing. What would be a good way, and I guess Jen will go to you first, what would be a good way for the person who sees you on those stories and they want to get into it? Where do you tell them to start? Let's just go at the bottom here. What's the way to get started in futures prop trading?
Yeah, I think that, like, I actually got this question in my DMs from someone the other day, and what they said was like, how do you find the time? Like, that's the biggest thing for moms. Like, there is no time. Like, that's the truth, is like, if you don't make the time. And so that's the first thing, is like, trading is incredible and it opens so many doors and it creates a lifestyle that not many other things can. But you have to want it bad enough and be willing to make the sacrifices to actually learn it and put the time in. And when you're a full-time mom, or even especially if you're a working mom already, your time is so limited that you have to look at your life and say, like, okay, where am I willing to make sacrifices to find the time to even learn the skill? Because if you can't do that, it's not a get rich quick thing, right? It's really hard. All of us have gone through high highs and low lows, and you have to really want it. And so for me, it wasn't about making money in the beginning. It was about having something for myself. And I gave up Netflix in the evening with my husband after bedtime. I gave up scrolling social media. Like, I was not active at all on social media in the beginning when I was like really diving in and learning, because every ounce of free time that I had, I was watching trading videos on YouTube. I was learning like the fundamentals, not even strategy. Like, what the heck is a candlestick? What even is futures? Like, what are the different, ways that you can trade? And all of that was done a lot of the time while I was doing mom stuff. I was folding laundry, I was making dinner. And instead of like mindlessly listening to stupid crap on Instagram, like, I was trying to educate myself. I will say the way I did it was not the most productive, but that's the biggest thing that I would say is,
Still
like,
teaches you.
yeah, first and foremost, like, look at your life and figure out, where am I going to not find the time, make the time for this if it's important to me.
Mm-hmm.
You caught the bug I know Rebecca has the bug because Rebecca and I have known each other the longest. So then let me that's a great answer, Jen. Change the question to Rebecca for you. When did you know you had the bug and you had to then start allocating the time when Netflix maybe is calling or the husband wants to hang out and whatever it may be? How did you know you had the bug? Because then I'm thinking of someone listening to this. What's the stay-at-home mom or dad that's listening thinking like, I don't know if I'm passionate about trading. Do I need to even be that passionate about trading to make this work? You know what I mean? You see where I'm coming from? Hey traders, I want to take a second to thank our sponsors. First, Top One Futures. If you use the code ASFX, that's going to save you over 50% on any account type with Top One. They are currently offering the cheapest instant funded account in the game. So if you want to get funded without having to jump through some crazy hoops or pass some crazy challenge, the instant funded accounts with Top One Futures are exactly where you need to go. For $290, you can get a 50K instant funded account that gives you $2,000 of drawdown with the potential to take a $2,500 payout on your first payout. So you're flipping $290 into a $2,500 payout if you can follow the rules and hit the $3,000 profit target. Now, they have larger accounts and smaller accounts. Head to their website, like I said, with the link in the description, and you can check out all the information about Top One Futures. Having paid out already 14 million, almost 15 million to traders, they are the one-stop shop that you need to get funded, stay funded, and get consistently paid out. TradeZella is the second sponsor for today's episode. Use the code ASFX to save 20% on their journaling software. If you're looking for a one-stop shop for backtesting, journaling, and tracking your trades, TradeZella is it. They will provide you with the Zella insights and the reports that show you exactly what you're doing well and what you need to work on. You can tag your entries, you can tag your setups. Everything you do can be tracked in TradeZella, now using their progress tracker. So use the code ASFX, click the link in the description, and now let's get back to the podcast.
Yes. And I think just to answer the last question, yes, you definitely have to be passionate about it, in my opinion, because it will challenge the best and worst parts of you. And if you are not passionate about it, I think you'll give up. So there's that. It's a very, like, people think it's a get rich quick path, and it can get you rich. I don't think it's quick, but it will be like the most painful journey that you go on, I think, to get to that point. So if you're not passionate about it, you're probably going to, kick the bucket. But so when did I catch the bug? I mean, so way back when, I've always been interested in stocks. Little like side story, I got in a car accident when I was 17. I got a what's that called? Not a payout. Now I'm like, a payout. It's not a payout because I have like payout.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like
you got
a
lump sum
fee for it.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
A
a settlement.
settlement.
lump sum of money. A settlement. Thank you. A settlement. It's just my brain's like payout. A settlement, and someone was, a close friend of mine was like, let's invest this. So I invested it. It went well. It was good. And ever since then, so I was like 22. And I was like, ooh, this is fun. And so finance has always kind of been on my brain. I've always done marketing. I've always done communications. I've always kind of done the like 9 to 5. I worked for the government for a super long time, but it's always kind of been there. Like, oh, I liked that. I felt like I liked how that made me feel, which is materialistic at the time. And then when I moved overseas, I gave up everything, gave up my career, left everything behind to go to a country where I didn't speak the language. I went there for my husband, didn't speak the language, and just kind of was put in this place where I'm Googling like how to make money at home. But I always had that in the back of my head that I knew finance was a route that I really liked. And then that's how at first I got scammed. Then I found you. And that was like, what, 7 or 8 years ago. Can't tell you how many like $200 Meta 4 freaking accounts that I blew trading Forex.
Metaphor.
Like, man, just $200 out of $200 out of $200.
But you had the bug.
I did. Yeah. I was like, this is worth it. Yeah. I didn't have kids at the time. So I didn't have kids. So I was able to like spend the time learning the fundamentals. So I learned them before I had kids. Then I took a really long break. That bug was still there. I had babies, and then I came back. Actually, I came back a month before my second child was born.
Right.
And I was like, why haven't I been spending the years pouring into this? Maybe it wasn't the right timing. I don't know, but it was always there in the back of my mind. So now I've been like full-time trading. By that, I mean, like I've dedicated my kind of like spare time to it since April of 2024.
So just then to summarize what she said, everybody, 8 years ish, on and off, more serious and less serious at different points. But that's to get you to the point that you're at now, where you're taking payouts and doing well. So to Jen's first point, you need to have passion. You need to be like bought in on the idea of like, I'm going to learn how to do this over time. It's not going to come quick. So then to pass it to Christine, why, Christine, do you think people should start with futures as a new trader versus maybe the swing trading stuff that you have some experience in? Do you think that the prop space, the future stuff is the better place to start? Or do you think based on what you've gone through, you would still start trading stocks and swing trading instead?
No, I would say futures is not the best place to start. Sorry to all
Okay.
future prop traders.
Well, we
I
can
think,
debate this. This is good.
yeah, I think swing trading is 100% if you want to start and have like less of a learning curve and less of a time frame in mind. Swing trading, and I'll probably go to my grave saying this: swing trading is easier. I don't know how to say that any with any more
Tell us
conviction.
why.
It
Why?
higher time frame. I think higher time frame, you don't have, like, I'm talking about swing trading on your own personal account. There's no specific rules you have to follow. We all know, like, issues that traders have in trading futures props is them sitting there fucking with their trades. Like, they mess with their trades. They put their emotions into it. They don't let them like play out like they should. Whereas swing trading, you just don't have, it's the time frame. You just don't have those same emotions. Like, it's just spread out over a greater time, and I think you can manage that a lot easier. And if you're, and I should say this, swing trading, going long on stocks is for me the way. And that's what I think is easy. Like, you get into a position and you just kind of have to ride it out. If you've picked a good stock, like if you're not a total idiot, I think you can do it. So I would say swing trading is the easier way. It doesn't mean I've quit my futures prop trading. I'm still
Sure.
going to master that because that is my obsession. So I think there's room for both, but if you're starting, I think swing trading is the easier path to go for sure.
Jen or Rebecca, you want to take the other side of that?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I have so many thoughts. First of all, let
Okay.
me throw a disclaimer that I haven't done swing trading yet. Okay.
Okay.
I started with options trading, which I highly, highly recommend not starting with because of the risk. And that's the only thing I would say is I think that I'm not disagreeing with your point about it being easier because I can't speak to it, but I think that the benefit of starting with futures prop trading is the low barrier to entry if you don't have the money or you don't want to risk your own money. Because if you can, as you're learning, actually, and Austin and I talked about this on our last podcast, set a budget and stick to it and say, okay, I'm allowing myself $150 a month to spend on prop firms. What'll that get you? Like 5 Apex evals, depending on the sale. And then prove to myself I can like pass them and start working towards a payout. And you can be super disciplined. That's the problem, is that people aren't disciplined and they put it on their credit card and they get themselves into like financial distress, right? But I
I've
think
never done
that
that.
I know what, like I've never bought too many prop accounts.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I'll say. Like my first thought is that depending on the audience and depending on who's listening, there's a lot of people that might not have the capital to start with swing trading. So that in that situation, I would say prop trading is a better option. And then the other side of the coin that I would say is just because it's easier doesn't always mean it's better to start with. And so hear me out, but like I'm gonna make a comparison. Sorry if anyone hates guns. I'm going to pick up my new pew pew today that I bought.
Nice.
But when I was shooting with my friend the other day, shopping for a new firearm, I've always shot full size firearms. And when you shoot a full size firearm, it has a lot less kick. It's a lot easier to shoot an accurate shot. I started big and now I'm trying to go smaller so I can conceal. She started small and is incredibly good shooting a smaller firearm that has a lot of kick, incredibly accurate. So she can pick up any larger gun and be accurate and confident. Whereas for me, I'm going backwards trying to do the harder thing after getting really confident in the easier thing. And it's kind of difficult, right?
It's a fire
So
analogy, Jen.
Mhm.
It does fit.
I'm sorry. So to me, just
It
because
is.
it's
It's a good one.
just
Us
because
Canadians are like, what's a gun?
What's
I
a
know, right?
gun?
I know. I could not
I
have
don't
picked a
understand the
more
analogy.
controversial thing to use. Another example would be surfing. Like I grew up surfing. If you're going to learn surfing, learning when you're young on a short board is better because you're going to get on a long board and it's super simple. But if you learn longboarding and then when you're older you try and transition to shortboarding, snowboarding and skiing, there's a lot of things like it, right? So
Yeah.
to me, I'm like, if the trader can commit to the budget and the
Mhm.
discipline and learn how to trade successfully and scale within prop firms, and that's how they start, then when they go to a live account with their real money, like, and there isn't consistency, there isn't intraday trailing drawdown, there isn't all these psychological rules that screw with your head, they're just going to be like,
Right. I mean, that's a fair point. Christine, you want to
Mhm.
rebuttal that before we go to Rebecca? I mean,
No,
those are fair
I
points.
agree. Like, I think those are all good points. For me personally, I like the dual system. I've always found that helpful. Struggling on the futures prop trading side, being able to make money on the swing trading side helps a lot.
Wait a
So,
minute. You know what I just realized?
what?
You both have people that you used to trade with named Andrew,
I still trade with
right?
Andrew.
You
What?
trade
But
with Andrew, the stock market wolf, and you trade with, and you used to trade with Andrew Aziz, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's weird.
The
Just
Andrew.
remember that.
I
Sorry to
mean,
interrupt.
Andrew is like one of the most common basic
Yeah,
names.
I'm
So
married to an
isn't
Andrea.
that weird? Isn't that weird?
It's true. We got a lot of this, the podcast of Andrews. No, but
Yeah,
it is fair, Christine, too, to think about like where you're in, like go back to Rebecca's point, your introduction into markets too. Like, did you
yeah,
hear about stocks first or futures
yes.
first or swing trading first?
Yeah,
Rebecca, did you want to?
yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Christine.
I was just a stock girl first. I was stockland for the entire first
Stock
year of
girl.
learning.
I was just a stock
Stock
groupie. I was
girl.
just chasing good stocks.
So
Yeah.
it's always been like my starting point. So I find myself like veering off towards
Drifting back
there.
to it.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I have a thought about it too because I know how you like to travel, and I know how much that
mhm,
plays into
mhm,
your lifestyle. So I
yes.
think the slowing down of the swing trading plays into that too.
My overall goal has always been able to swing trade so that I could travel and look at the charts for 15 minutes a day and make money while I'm traveling Europe with my family, backpacking around who knows where. That's
Yeah,
always been a goal. I
yeah,
still have the goal of mastering prop firm futures trading, which is more of what I look at as my day job. But if I was to pick up and go traveling, like then I can always go back to the swing trading side and make money that way. So to me, the swing trading gives an advantage of time that future trading doesn't necessarily. I mean, it's still good on time. Don't get me wrong. I could sit on the charts for 2 hours a day and that's still like amazing. But, cutting that down to 15 minutes a day is even
less.
more better for a traveling kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rebecca,
And
you want to chop in?
I wasn't disagreeing with you.
No, I
Yeah,
I
no, but
just want to
you
say,
took the other side of it
no,
well. I
you
really think so.
yeah,
you're right. All
Yeah.
you
I'm the
were right.
queen
Yeah.
of like the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Like, let's look at both sides of it. So that was just the point. But I want to get into swing trading, so
Yeah.
maybe you can teach me.
Done.
Rebecca, what are you steaming on over there?
I really like how you clarified that I mean, maybe I misunderstood, but you're talking about like long-term holding of stocks because I hear swing
Multi-day.
trading, right. I hear swing trading and I think of like Tory trades, for example, who will hold a trade for like 8-9 days. And first of all, like Jen said, you need the capital to be able to do that because prop firms won't allow you to do that unless you're like exiting your trade and re-entering into your trade an hour later, which kind of defeats the purpose. So you need the capital to be able to do that. On the other hand, I have 2 points. One, when I'm in a longer trade, like I've started trading Asian a little bit, which to me is longer. I'm in it for like 4, 5, 6, maybe even London overnight. This lighting is hilarious. The sun like just came out. I'm like, why? Anyways, I'm like this,
Right.
like always checking it. Like I have a really hard time disconnecting an active trade that I'm in to like spending time with my kids and my family.
Mhm.
And I'll set alerts and then that alert will go off. And like my mind is always there. I sleep like crap when I'm in a trade. And I know that because I'm like, I wonder how my trade's doing. And every time I get up to go to the bathroom or whatever, I check my trade. So there's that. And then the other thing is too, like, honestly, myself, I don't know, Austin, we're all kind of like ADHD degenerates. And so
Whoa.
are we going to get that? You are. Come on. You've said it. You have ADHD. Come on. We
Uh,
all do. And we want that quick gratification.
Mm.
So if that's what you're looking for in your trading, swing trading won't bring that to you. So it depends totally on your personality. It is a bit like gaming. It is, you can
yeah.
gamify trading a little bit, especially like high frequency traders. So it depends
So
on your personality. It's not fair
I think
to not that you said this, but you can't just say a blanket statement like it's easier one way or the other. Definitely depends
no.
on your personality.
We'll come back to something you said in a second, but let's go into another layer of this. So we're talking swing trading versus day trading, multi-day holds versus intraday trading, whether you're trading from Asian session, closing an Asian session, or Asian session trading it into New York, or you're just scalping New York, whatever it is, like we're looking at multi-day versus intraday, right? I think for the listeners, they should be thinking, and tell me what you guys think of this. What kind of time do you want to be giving to the trading every day? If it's an hour to 2 to 3 hours a day, then you could be looking to do this speculation that you would say that we're doing on the day to day in the future space? Or are you looking to become, like Rebecca said, for Christine, a little bit more of the investor mindset? Don't want to look at it too often, trade a couple of times per week, maybe a couple of times per month. That would be like the first box to check, right? Of like, what do you want to do to build your trading business? And then I think you got to know yourself. Like you said, we're ADD or ADHD degens. You got to know, do you like to make fast decisions in and out quickly, or do you like to be more methodical? And like here, you see on this podcast, we've got many different personalities, many different capabilities as far as who can hold trades longer, who likes to hold trades longer, so on and so forth. So I think that all those points are super, super valid. But let's just give the framework for someone that is thinking about, okay, let's say I want to give 2 hours a day to this. Do you guys think that the trader who's speculating day to day, and Christine, so we'll put the swing trading aside, should the day trader focus on one asset in the future space, especially when trading with prop firms? Or should that trader be looking to trade whatever assets are presenting opportunity? The reason I say that, I'll come to you first, Rebecca. The reason I say that is because when US markets have been grinding at all-time highs, like we are now, a lot of traders struggle, especially like it seems like ICT traders sometimes struggle during this all-time high grind. So some people will go and trade gold. Gold's ripping, right? Silver, all-time
That's
highs,
true.
ripping. So there's more momentum in other markets. So now seeing that, and all of you have years of experience trading, do you think it's better to focus on one asset when you're new and get to know it really well? Or do you think it is good to look at multiple assets for the things that you'll learn from looking across multiple assets? So go ahead, Rebecca.
I think it's good to focus on one, um, because then you can really hone your craft. You can back test, you can be confident in your strategy, you can be confident in your trades. Like gold moves completely different to like ES or NQ. And even you could argue that NQ moves differently to ES. They, they follow the same kind of pattern, but they react totally different.
I
Um,
agree.
so yeah, some like the person who I know who I'm actively like streaming with, she uses like a different strategy for trading gold that she does for ES or NQ.
Interesting.
So it's like if you're just starting out, to me that would be too much. It would be too much to try and learn two different strategies for two different instruments, especially because like gold really moves well during Asia and ES and NQ move really well during New York. So if you're doing both, you're going to be at your computer all the time and you're going to be burnt out. It's just a matter of like, I think really honing in on your craft, not spreading yourself too thin. I only trade MES to be specific. When I did Forex, it was like all the what
15
do they call
currency
it? Pairs,
pairs.
all the currency pairs, right? It was just like
Yeah.
my mind was so scattered. It made me quite anxious. Like I could feel it in my body that I was overwhelmed by the options. So to just kind of narrow in on that, I think is key. And also, too, I didn't have enough screens. I literally did not have enough screens to be monitoring that many things at one time. So I only
Oh,
had two
I
screens.
remember the picture of the laptop in the kitchen. How far we've come, Rebecca. How far we've
That
come.
now I have a monitor, a single monitor, and I have a laptop stand.
Amazing.
So it's not on top of my formula can
I feel like
anymore.
I'm seeing my child walk for the first time. Okay,
That's
good
how I
answer.
feel. I feel like a child walking for the first time.
Focus on one. I like it. Christine, you want to
Yes.
go and we'll go to Jen.
Yeah, less is more for sure. And I think there are so many possible strategies. Like that's already too much to try to figure out. When you start spreading yourself over multiple assets, it just adds another layer onto it. So I do not to say that you couldn't get there. Like you can get to a point where you're trading ES, NQ, YM. But when you're learning, less is more. Stick to one asset, in my opinion. That's been helpful for me, at least. Even with swing trading, I know we're not talking about it, but I only swing trade 7 stocks. Like, that is a tight list for swing traders in general. I'm not looking at the entire market trying to figure out which stock is moving. I literally have 7. So I stick to one asset on futures. I stick to 7 stocks on the swing trading side. So for me, that's a way to be less is more for sure.
Jen, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. So the only thing that I will say is I agree 100% that you should
Mhm.
stick to one and only trade one in the beginning, especially. And I've only ever traded NQ. I know that like a lot of people love ES, and I've actually recently been like, maybe I'll try ES because one thing that I'll say that's kind of like with this, but in addition, um, one of the things that has helped me become successful is not just watching NQ. So I'm watching NQ, I'm watching ES, and I'm watching some of the top tickers that make up both of those indexes. And if you don't know what else is going on in the market, and you're just blindly trading one, like just NQ, and you don't know that, like, NQ is breaking out, but ES, like today, I got out of the trade I was in. I was in a breakout on NQ long, and I literally was saying to myself, okay, I think we're going to turn around because ES just can't break that level. It was just stuck, as we all saw, and it just kept dropping,
Yeah.
dropping, dropping. And what did it do? It turned around and went back down to the bottom of the range. I was
Yeah, I
able
caught
to,
that trade.
yeah, I was able to get out. Every time I see a short, I think of you. I'm like, I bet Rebecca's in this.
So you're saying use it as a correlated thing, like pay attention to
Yeah,
maybe more than one, but you don't
Totally.
need to trade more than one.
Correct. Pick which one you're going to trade because, like, if you're not trading, this is something that I don't think anyone said as a point to stick to one is like, if you're looking at statistics, right,
Mhm,
and probabilities of the market, 50-50
mhm,
chance, long or short, but you're
mhm.
flipping between multiple different tickers, like, that skews the statistical probability of you being profitable, especially if you're not
Totally.
trading like a really high RR setup, right? So like if I'm going long on NQ 3 days and I have a 1-to-1 and then the fourth day I'm on ES, but that happens to be the day that it works out on NQ but not ES. You hear what I'm saying? Like there's a
100%.
lot. I'm really big on the statistical side of trading because of Andrew, my mentor. He's taught me a lot about that. And like just like with any science experiment or anything else, like you have to have those, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Data
the
points,
the control, right? There
the
has to
control
be
Yes.
the,
variables, right?
yeah, the
Yes.
controlled variables. And if you're constantly changing the variables, then you're never going to be able to capitalize on the probabilities and have that edge. Because
It
Yeah.
makes me
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say when you say that, it makes me think of like in Forex, just to tie to what Rebecca said, we used to look at correlated pairs. You would
Mhm.
see one pair moving in one direction, it might create a setup in another direction on another pair. I think the cool thing about US markets is like they're heavily weighted in tech stocks. So I would just, if I could add my own point on this, it's like if you're going to trade the US markets, you kind of got to know the index that you're trading. I like yelled at
Yeah.
everybody about that at the seminar. Remember, Christine? I was like, who can really get up and confidently tell me what the S&P 500 is, what stocks make up? How about who could tell me the top 10 stocks in the indice, And very few people can. So I think it's not just no one on the charts, it's no one like talk to Chat GPT about it. Get to
Yeah.
know the index. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like get to know the components of it too. Good points, girls. Really, really good points. Let me throw another question at us here. This is a very hot topic. So we're going to just go right into the deep end here halfway through. Is trading gambling? Christine?
my initial reaction is no, but I can see the argument for yes.
Okay, so she's saying no. Jen, is
Mhm.
Christine gambling? Is Christine gambling?
No, I'm not. Am I?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know her
Swing
strategy.
trading.
Christine,
Yeah.
Christine is gambling. Yes, yes, yes. No, is trading gambling to you, Jen?
It can be. It's I've
Mhm.
Okay.
absolutely gambled in the markets.
Okay.
I think that in and of itself, trading is not gambling. Like if trading is gambling, then any other career where not a lot of people make it is gambling. Becoming a real estate agent is gambling.
Mhm.
Like,
Right. Like
you know,
if you thin it out. You're like, well, going outside of your house today is a gamble. You could
Yeah.
die. You know what I'm saying? Right. So
Exactly. Like, so like,
I see the way you're saying.
what's your definition of gambling? But I would say
Right.
like, absolutely, I have gambled because it's gambling the second that you are not following a plan, a specific strategy, and utilizing like a proven edge, right, in the market.
Yeah.
If you go outside your plan and you size up and you're revenge trading, that's gambling. Like if
Sure.
I'm pissed because I just lost and I'm like full porting, 5 NQ on a 50K account, like that's gambling, right? Like because 9 times out of 10, that's just going to immediately hit a stop loss and blow the account,
Right.
right? So
Yep. Yep.
I think it
Okay.
absolutely can be, but it's not
You're saying it's on
inherently.
the approach, right? So if
Yeah,
we define gambling as playing a game with no edge, you're like, no, trading you can have an edge, but you have to shift those probabilities slightly into your favor.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, Rebecca, we go to you before I go to the next question. Gambling? Are you taking?
Yes, unless you
Yeah.
have an edge. Strategy, a
Yeah.
rule book, playbook, whatever. And it's funny because I talk about this a lot in my house. Like I'm like, oh, I had a red day, and my husband was like, because he hates trading. He's
Do
like,
the
"What?"
accent too. If you're gonna do his voice,
Yeah,
do
he's
the
like,
accent.
he's like, what? Bet on the wrong horse today?
Yeah.
That's what he says to me when I take a loss. I'm like, dude,
Yo, I love the Italian. You bet on the
did you
wrong horse.
take a bet on the wrong horse? Huh?
That's so funny. It's so good. Well, so the other side of this, Sanlucci, the options guy, I've had him on the podcast. He's pretty well known. So I've had him on stream and stuff. And he says like trading is 100% gambling, right? And I think Jen said it really well. It's like, do you define gambling as playing a game with no edge, or do you find gambling as the behaviors that you show when playing the game of probabilities? If we just accept that everything is the game of probabilities, then the term gambling would be used of like, are you following your rules? Or are you gambling your money away by just guessing? Because then that implies that the rules give you some type of an edge. So this sets up the deeper question. For the traders that are new, part-time, maybe struggling still, trying to find their way, what is step one in finding your edge? Rebecca, you want to swing at this first?
Yes, take as many trades as you can.
Interesting.
With
Tell me.
as many okay, let me rephrase. Within reason. Like don't go out and spend a whole bunch of money unless you have it. If you're like, man, I'm a millionaire, I freaking want to get a new passion. I like the idea of trading. I can spend as much money as I want on accounts and learn. Sure. If you don't have that capital, then yeah, get like don't start with paper trading. I'm very passionate about that. Don't start on an account that you have no skin in the game, no emotional impact on you. Don't do that. Start with a cheap account and find someone who your personality aligns with the strategy that they kind of talk about. Do some strategy shopping. Find one that you think aligns with you, and then take as many trades as you can that you think is in that strategy, and then mark them out, journal them, back test them. This happened. You saw this happen with me. Like I did this, and you were like, why don't you filter your trades by shorts and longs? And I was like, plus 10 grand on my shorts and minus 10 grand on my longs. And it's like, if I had not taken all those trades, I wouldn't have that data set to really filter through and find my strategy and my edge. So that's what I would say. Like, don't be afraid.
You
to
started
take
with a very
trades.
vague answer there of take a lot of trades, but you did a good job to narrow it down and make it specific and tactical. So it's take a lot of trades, but then document it, journal it, study the stats of it, see what you can pull from it. I liked strategy shopping, not strategy hopping. We're gonna coin that one as the one-liner so far of the episode, I think, because you can, as a new trader, like for the people hopefully listening to this, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, you can definitely still strategy shop, right, and try and see until you find what you like. I think it only becomes strategy hopping. I don't know at what extent.
If you don't give it a good time, like if you don't give it a good opportunity to stick and see if it works for you, then that's strategy hopping.
Okay, fair. Fair. Jen, you want to add anything on that?
Yeah, I agree a lot with that. I'm the queen of analogies. So I'm going to use another analogy for you guys.
Let's go.
Like I like to compare it to dieting because that's my background, right? So like when I have a client come and they want to lose weight and they've been trying to do it on their own, oftentimes it's not that they can't do it, it's that they're going from keto to paleo to carnivore to Whole30. They're like constantly changing it because they're changing the variables, and you can't see what's working and what's not working if you're constantly changing it, right? So like stick to one, decide an amount of time. Maybe it's going to be 60 days. Maybe it's going to be 30 days. I'm going to stick to this. These are my rules. This is my system. Do some back testing, do some forward testing, live testing, like Rebecca said, journal everything, and then look at it. And also, like, figure out if you like it. And it's like, I'm like, I know it sounds silly to talk about using your gut, but like, sometimes, like, it's your gut. It's a gut feeling. It's like, okay, I like doing it this way. I feel peace and confidence and calm when I take this type of a trade. I feel extremely anxious and, not confident when I take this type of trade. Like, that matters too, right? So, like, give it the time to figure out if it works. And then if 30 days in, you still haven't lost any weight, then we change the diet, going back to that analogy, right? So I think that that's the important thing. Everything is always going to come back to the data. Like, what is the data saying? And that's like one of for me, like, I don't love data inherently. So like, that's one of the least fun parts of trading, is that part. But it's,
You like full port and 5 minis. That's the fun
of
part.
course, of course.
Hell
Who
yeah.
doesn't?
Christine, anything you want to, well said, Jen, anything you want to add in on just like tips for refining your edge or finding the edge as a new trader?
Yeah, I think you girls said it perfectly. I loved what you said. I think people don't understand how important strategy is to find the right strategy for the right person. And I wish as a new trader, I got the idea of trying to make money out of my head for the first, like, however many years, and focused more on just trying to find the right fit for me. I think there's a gut portion of it. There's obviously the data. The way that you find the right strategy for you is through the data. So like that to me should be the focus of a new trader. One big thing too, and we've already touched on it, is understanding the law of probabilities and learning that early in the game. I personally think changes the outcome, or will change the outcome for a lot of people. Because when you
Why?
really understand, because so many new traders struggle with losses. Like, that is one of the biggest things people have to get over. But understanding the law of probabilities, understanding how casinos win, like this is a Lawrence thing. Shout out to Lawrence. Like, if you understand that, you don't take losses personally. It doesn't hurt you the same way when you know that essentially you're flipping a coin, and half the time that coin is going to turn up heads and half the time that coin is going to turn up tails. You don't get mad at the penny when it turns up heads or tails and it goes against you. So if you can understand that and learn that in the beginning as a new trader, I think that goes a long way to help you get to your end goal, maybe a little quicker, or just maybe with a little less like resistance, I guess.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I
Can I
think.
say one thing?
Yes, please.
I think strategy is nothing without rules, though, and without discipline. I think you can have the best strategy in the world, and if you are unable to have a rule book that you follow, or an inability to walk away from a loss, it doesn't matter. So also as a new trader, something that I've learned, and I had someone tell me this, which was really helpful, was you can think that you're the most disciplined person in the world. Nobody's that disciplined. Like, nobody is that disciplined that they can over time, again and again and again and again and again, be like, okay, just because I'm okay with walking away. Like, you need a toolbox to instill that discipline in you. And one of the things that I highly encourage new traders to do alongside their strategy is document your feelings, which is like woo feelings, when you take a loss. So, or even when you take a win, like when you know you're breaking your rules. And I say this because I broke my rules a couple times back in like beginning of August, where I didn't walk away. And then I hit a banger trade that got me out of my red and it got me into green. And I was like, that worked. And then it didn't. And then I blew accounts. Like
Right.
it worked a couple times. And someone was
giving
like,
into the bad
journal
habit then
that.
makes it so you'll do it again. Right. And then you're
Yes.
saying pay
Yeah.
attention to it so you don't give into it again.
Yeah, journal. I broke my rules here and I won. I broke my rules here and I lost. And if you put them beside each other, you're going to lose like 7 times more than you actually win. Or you might not, and then maybe you adjust your rules, right? So it's, you definitely need to be having rules alongside a strategy.
Okay, so then here's a good, yeah.
Can
Sorry,
I add
Christine. Go ahead.
one? I'm
Of
just going
course.
back in. I agree with that. I do think, as a caveat to that, is that different toolboxes will work better, different rule sets will work better differently on different strategies. For example, I can't follow my rules generally when I'm trading VWAP trades. I can follow my rules when I'm trading mean reversion trades. And that I didn't figure out until this past like few months. Once I was able to find the right strategy for me, it was a lot easier for me to follow my rules. And I think Jen already touched on that. When you find the right strategy that you're less anxious in, that you feel more confident in, following your rules it's actually a lot easier. So let's say you're a trader and you're trading a strategy and you're like, oh, I can't follow my rules. Like I'm struggling, like checking off that rule box list that I have every day. Maybe it's not the rules, maybe it's the strategy. That's my
Well
thought.
said. Great point.
Mic
Great
drop.
point.
Mic drop.
Okay. We're going to get to the last couple of questions because this has been really good. I think this is going to be a really, really good episode. Are trading courses a scam?
No.
I'll let anybody bite at that one.
Some.
Depends.
No, depends.
Well, I learned
Rebecca, what do
through
you got?
your course, so I feel like I cannot
But you've also
say
learned a lot
that
of other
trade.
things.
Yeah.
You know, so
True.
okay, courses are not a scam. But okay, let me rephrase my question then. Are courses the best way for new traders that are listening 40 minutes into our podcast? Is that what they should be looking for to learn more? Or should they be looking for another form of education, a live stream that they see everybody streaming on YouTube for free, or a PDF? Like, what is the best form of education for a new trader to take? You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I'll go.
Okay.
There are absolutely trading courses that are scams. So, number one, do your due diligence. Does this trader have receipts? Like, are they actually profitable consistently in the long term? Have they proven it? Like, are they respected in the trading space in general, or are they known as like, ask around, read the reviews? Like, reviews aren't everything, but like if someone's scamming people, it's pretty easy to find out, right? So that's one thing. There's absolutely courses that are scams. I do not think that courses overall, like trading courses, are scams. I'm a huge believer in education, and this is what I will say, and this is why I will say that it is worth getting a course and paying for a course, and even better if you can afford it, real mentorship, is because you will always put more effort into something if you have skin in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. So if
I can't tell you how many of my friends I used to give the course to for free.
Yeah,
and
they never
none of
watch
them
it.
ended up trading. Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And I won't do anything for free anymore. I used to do it with nutrition coaching, and 9 times out of 10 I'd spend all this time and no one would listen to what I said. So you need to have skin in the game to have that personal commitment. It's rare that someone will follow through if they don't have skin in the game. Very rare.
And
go ahead.
All three of you have pursued mentorship. You mentioned it there. So is mentorship the one-on-one hand holding, the experiential learning? That's the best way to learn how to trade. I think we all agree, right? Like sitting with someone, asking them questions, seeing them take trades, but they got to have the proof, right? Like my barber was asking me about how to get into trading, and he's like, it's different when I just ask a random person that places trades versus you. I see you taking payouts. You know what I'm saying? So you got to sit with the right person, right?
I think it depends on what you're getting too, though, because like,
tell me what you mean.
So I'm not going to name names or groups or anything. I've done a lot.
Come on, we want the drama.
No, never. No, I love everybody.
I tried everybody. I tried to get her to say it.
I'm Switzerland.
But she doesn't want to be canceled.
Don't comment below and say, why didn't you press her, Austin?
I've spent a lot of money on courses. I've spent a lot of money on mentorship. And there are people out there who have courses in mentorship that everything that you get for free on their YouTube or on their Instagram. And suddenly you look back and you're like, whoa, I spent how many thousands of dollars to relearn everything I've already binged on your YouTube?
Crazy.
Like, that sucks, right? So like, what are you getting? I think the biggest thing with mentorship, to be honest, is accountability. And that's with any type of coaching. Like, it's not the information. Typically, when you hire a mentor, there's not some secret golden nugget that they're like gatekeeping from everyone who took their course. It's just the fact that you aren't disciplined enough to do it on your own. So you need someone looking at your trades every day to hold you accountable. And if you can
100%.
figure out how to do it without paying for the mentorship, do it. I couldn't.
So that's almost like the shortcut, right? Like if you're a new trader and like it's funny because like I'll do sales calls for our Black Shirt Club and like I'll have people that have like been trading a month and they'll be like, yeah, I'm looking to find the right mentor. I'm like, God damn it. Why was I not thinking like that when I started trading? Why did I think I could just go into the market and figure it out? It is so stupid. And you see people, but usually they're older and they've had success in some area of life and they know someone's already laid the path. Go get it from them. You know what I'm saying? It's just the truth. But I think like I could say for sure, like what uh Christine and Rebecca, both of you have done is like you learn from different people. I know, Jen, you have different influences, I'm sure too, but like I've seen it firsthand with Rebecca. I've seen the way your trading has evolved, right? So like I think it's not just one mentor usually, right? Like even as someone coaching people, I don't think I'm the one-stop shop for a lot of people. People often go and do deeper dives. Like we had Scott Pulsini on, you know, Rebecca and Christine, a lot of people in the mentorship like the book map stuff and they go deeper. So I think that's the thing is like once you have a good mentor, you get hooked on it, you see it's like a shortcut, and then it can accelerate your learning. You want more of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think mentorship/accountability over courses. I've learned strategies from courses, and then I've also learned strategies from watching live streams and just practicing on my own and hearing podcasts. So, like, you can learn the strategy either way, but the mentorship and community, like, I'm big on community and not to plug my own podcast, but over on
Plug
Behind
it,
the
plug it.
Like we're new traders and that's what we talk about all the time is having the community, having the mentorship and just that, like Jen said, someone looking at your stuff, the accountability, because most of us need someone to make us accountable. We're just not accountable to ourselves. We need someone else to show up for. And it's a lonely work. Like you
I'm
go to the
addicted to
computer
it.
by yourself,
I gotta
right?
you gotta have a coach for your trading. I got a coach for my
Yes,
business. I have a coach
all of
for
it.
my gym. I
Yes,
won't do anything, it seems like, unless I'm paying someone to tell me to do it, even though I know I should do it
100%.
myself. But it
Yeah,
works. It makes me keep doing it. So it
yeah.
works, like
I'd
whatever.
rather
Yeah.
people pay more for coaching than they do on prop firms, for sure.
Yeah,
Oh, good
totally.
segue, Christine, into
Yeah.
our final little thing here. We didn't really touch on the prop firms. I think this was a good podcast to kind of hit the
Mhm.
trading side of it, right? Like prop firms, swing trade, like whatever trading you decide to use. I think we gave a lot of good advice just for trading. So let's just touch on the prop firms. And listeners, if you really like this, we'll do another one. We'll do a part 2 and we'll focus it on prop firms, right? So intro to prop firms. People are learning how to trade. They're taking different courses. They're taking YouTube University. They're looking to now start to actually place trades. All of us have done a lot of good and a lot of bad sometimes in proplandia, as we call it, with all these different prop firms. There's so many good ones. So what would be the red flags to look out for, right? Because we could go down a list of firms that are paying us out, that have paid people out. We see that on Payout Junction. What would be the red flags, though, that the new trader should be looking out for? What comes to mind? Red flags of a prop firm. No payouts
Uh,
within. I think I
denied
always go to payouts. I always go to payouts. If
denied
there's no
payouts.
Yeah.
denied payouts, no proof of payouts are my first two for sure.
Yeah,
Anything
no
else?
proof and denied, definitely. Um, I think this like it kind of sounds silly, and maybe it's like a millennial thing too. But like, if the CEO of a prop firm is a total public asshole, then
Dick.
I
Yeah.
will not. Yeah, I won't
Agreed.
put my money into that. If it's clear that their rules are too actually, I guess prop firms in general, they do have tricky rules and they don't like want to just hand out money to traders. They make it difficult. But if it's, if it's clear that they really want to see their traders fail, then that's something that I like don't really want to invest my money into either.
For sure. For sure.
Mhm. I don't know.
Questionable trust pilot reviews. That's what I always think of. Okay, so I stumped you guys with that question a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just so many good firms. Like, how could
Yeah.
we come on and recommend any one? Tradeify, Top
Well,
One Futures, Top Step. They're all paying people out.
Mm-hmm.
let's think of the red flag one. Okay, let's think of fast track trading.
I was
What
just
were the
thinking that.
red?
Too good to be
What were the,
too good to be
yeah,
true.
too good to be true. What were the flags that we saw with that? They didn't
No
have a
credit
credit card
cards.
processor.
Right. Right there. Flag.
Right.
Good one. Good call.
Boom.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
hello.
What was it? 40 funded accounts, no challenge, instant funded 40
20,
accounts, something like
20 instant
20 was
funded.
only
20
20.
instant
Okay.
funded. Yeah. And the rules were just
Interesting.
like too good to be true. And didn't have the best kind of online presence necessarily. Like it just was
Well, that
red
guy
flags
Scott
from
was
the beginning.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's opening
So,
another one I saw in November, launching another prop firm.
interesting.
Yes.
So, okay, then let's go here then. What like if you were again, speaking to the new trader, like part-time trader getting into this for the first time, copy trading or non-copy trading? Because that's really what people start talking about when they go down the prop firm rabbit hole. Should these people be jumping in and trying to copy trade? Do you guys do copy trading now that you've been trading more? What are your thoughts? You want to go, Rebecca, and then Christine?
Yeah, I wouldn't start with it. I started with it, and I think you get so enamored by seeing the huge wins, because if it's like times 5, you have $1,000 win, it's $5,000 on the day. It gives you an unrealistic expectation of what your day should look like. And then you have, because you're a new trader, a $2,000 loss, and now you see a $10,000 loss on your TradeZella or whatever calendar you're using to keep track of your trades. And it's like, those numbers are so, what's the word I'm looking for, undigestible as a new trader, that it's just becomes overwhelming. I think that the focus should be get a payout first on one account, and then buy one more. Like, don't buy 10 more, buy one more, and then start copy trading that one if you'd like. Then focus on another payout. Like, start small. If all of a sudden you're trading 20 copied accounts and then you lose all those 20 copied accounts, that feeling sucks.
Especially
as a
when
new
you're
trader.
just starting out. I agree.
Yes.
Christine, you want to piggyback off
Yeah,
that?
this is going to be a do as I say, not as I do.
Did.
Don't copy trade until you've made a payout. I still to this day have not made a fucking prop firm payout, but I copy trade a little bit. Like, my biggest loss was losing 7 Tradeify accounts. Like, I think I paid,
I remember that.
thousands
I remember
of
that too.
dollars for that. And I lost one account. I had $2,000 in drawdown. In the scheme of things, that's not that bad. But because I had copied 7 accounts thinking I was like, I don't know, just the best.
It's like burning the whole house down.
Yeah, like that was my biggest loss. Not because I lost the account, but because I bought 7 when I should have bought 1. So yeah, trade 1. I still copy trade because I don't know, I'm just a fool, I guess. But I copy trade like 2 to 3 accounts occasionally. Sometimes I trade 1, sometimes I copy trade 2. It's not a big deal. I'm not like a big dog copier where I have like 40 accounts up. Some people do
like
that.
Randy.
Really well. Yeah, big dog
And
Randy.
Big dog Randy.
Can do it,
Jen, what do you?
Yeah, we talked about this on the last podcast with you. I 100% think people need to start with 1. Because I did the same thing. I had multiple sets of 7 Tradeify accounts that I was close to. And like sometimes even like psychologically, to tie what both of you guys said together, like I've been qualified for payouts on copy traded accounts and then kept trading them and blown them or like whatever. Like you're just not psychologically mature enough as a trader, if you're brand new, to be copy trading accounts. And you need to scale up slowly, because if you make a payout on one account and then you go from 1 account to 7 accounts and you blow 7 accounts, you probably blew in the cost of those 7 accounts your whole payout from your 1 account, right? So like, just like if it was live, more. So like, just like if it was live capital, you got to scale slowly, and it sucks, especially if you're someone who likes to go hard in the paint like I do, and it
full
sounds
throttle.
like you do. Yeah, like but I mean, I was in the same position as you, and the piece of advice I would give you is I was struggling to get to a payout, get to a payout, and I was copy trading, and Andrew, my mentor, was like, you're done copy trading. You're going to 1 account, and until you make a payout, you're not allowed to copy trade. And literally got to pay out like the next account that I had. And
then you turned around, you were like, I should have been copy trading. It would have been 5 payouts. God.
Right. But no, it was the psychological aspect. Like Rebecca
you got to kick the door down.
Those big numbers are hard to digest when you're not used to it. And even to this day, it's like, I have people who are like, you need to be copy trading 40 accounts. Can you believe the amount of money you would make? Like in my DMs. God. And I'm like, can you believe the amount of money I would lose? Because I know I'm not
first.
I'm not there. I'm not there yet. Like, you know, the max right now I'll do is 5. And like, that's good for me. So
yeah. I love it. Yeah, I think that prop firms in general offer a great opportunity for new traders. You know, if you're a new trader listening to this full hour-long conversation, like the opportunity you have to get into the prop space, especially with all the tips that were given just in this video and the information you have on YouTube, what a time to be a new trader. Like you have no excuse to not make it work, and even less time than it took me and Rebecca, those of us that have been trading a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, but girls, this has been amazing. Amazing. I'm looking forward to, like I said, seeing you guys. Rebecca, it sucks you're not coming next week, but whatever. You're too cool for us.
I know.
Got your new Tradified job.
All weekend.
Can't come hang out. It's all right. It's all right. Brett's got you.
I got a job. I have a job.
You got the job. Let me call Brett and ask him to let you have some time off.
Yeah.
So
Austin, do you know?
Brett, are you listening?
Wait, do you know that Rebecca is the one who like looped me into coming to this in the first place, and then she bailed?
Oh, I didn't know that, and she bailed. Oh, well,
no,
Jen,
I have receipts.
For her.
I have receipts. I said, "Do not buy your ticket yet. I don't have confirmation." The next text she sent me, I bought the ticket in the hotel.
Jen, it's her loss.
I told you I'm all in.
We're gonna have 2 nice dinners. It's Christine's birthday. We have a seminar with 200 people. Tom Hugard, Best Luger. Dude, we gotta have a great
I got a dress. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Oh,
yeah. Wait, you have a dress? Are you dressing up?
I'm wearing a dress. Yes.
For when?
It's her birthday.
On the night that we're having the catered dinner.
Thursday.
That's my birthday, so I have to. Like, I can't not.
Okay, well, I'm glad I got this information so I don't show up in sweats like I probably would have.
No, but this is good. So listeners, if you stayed all the way through, first, make sure you're subscribed. New podcast every Saturday. Also, I'll put all the social media links for the girls down below so you can follow them on YouTube, on social, check out everything they got going on. But if you enjoyed this conversation, definitely do us a favor. Drop a comment. Tell us what you liked, maybe what you didn't like. We'll take the feedback. And let us know if you want to hear a part 2. Like I said, we'll do a part 2 more focused on prop firm stuff. I think we also could have gone a little bit more into just like handling losses, like what Christine touched on like playing probabilities. I think that concept is just never ending in a way, you know. But for now, girls, thank you. I appreciate it. Listeners, thank you as always. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.